I'll never forget the time my brother, a firefighter, shared a chilling story with me about a house fire he responded to a few years ago. A neighbor had called in, saying the vacant house next door was ablaze. The houses were close, but not close enough for anyone to clearly see through the windows. The operator mentioned that they could hear the neighbor's supposed wife in the background, yelling about someone being in one of the upstairs windows and the trash inside the house making the fire worse. When my brother and his colleagues arrived, they managed to put the fire out. No one was inside, but they found evidence of a squatter living upstairs. It seemed that the squatter accidentally caused the fire and left after being spotted by the neighbor's wife. The house was repaired, and a young couple eventually bought it. A few months later, the police were called to the same house by the same neighbors, who reported hearing screams and a woman puking. This time, it was a case of domestic violence. A cop spoke to the neighbors about what they'd witnessed and asked how they'd seen the woman puking when it didn't happen near any windows and the blinds were mostly closed. The neighbor, puzzled, revealed he didn't have a wife and had never lived with a woman. The 911 recording confirmed that there was indeed a woman's voice in the background. Intrigued by this, my brother investigated and found out that the house had been put up for sale because its previous owner, a middle-aged woman, had died there. The neighbor described her as a very neat person, almost obsessive-compulsive. My brother continued to dig into the story, suspecting that the woman's spirit might still be lingering in the house. The young couple living there reported no supernatural occurrences, but did mention they often felt an inexplicable sense of unease. My brother, not a superstitious man, couldn't shake the feeling that there was something more to this story. He decided to research the history of the house and found that there had been several unexplained deaths over the years. The more my brother learned, the more convinced he became that there was a rational explanation for the strange happenings. He enlisted the help of a local historian and discovered that the house had been built on an old landfill site. This revelation led him to conclude that the reported voices were, in fact, the sounds of the house settling due to the unstable ground beneath it. My brother shared his findings with the young couple, who were relieved to know there was a rational explanation for the odd sensations they experienced. They had the house inspected and reinforced, which put an end to any further disturbances. While the story wasn't as eerie or supernatural as it initially seemed, it serves as a reminder that sometimes the truth can be stranger than fiction. The experience also taught my brother to keep an open mind and to always search for logical explanations, even in the face of seemingly inexplicable events. As time went on, the young couple and the neighbors forged a close friendship. The story of the mysterious house brought them closer together, with everyone in the neighborhood feeling a sense of camaraderie. The couple eventually had a baby, and the house became a warm, inviting home for their growing family. My brother continued his work as a firefighter, always keeping an eye out for unexplained phenomena. He developed a reputation for being a problem solver, someone who could look past the surface and dig deeper for answers. The experience with the house had changed him, making him more observant and curious. Years later, I found myself visiting the same neighborhood where the story took place. I was surprised to see how much the area had transformed. The once vacant and mysterious house was now a beautiful and well-maintained home, surrounded by a thriving community. The young couple had grown older. Their children were now in college, and they still lived in the house that had brought them and the neighbors together. As I walked past the house, I couldn't help but think about the strange events that had unfolded there. The unexplained voices, the seemingly supernatural occurrences, and the ultimate revelation that there was a logical explanation behind it all. The experience had taught us all a valuable lesson. Sometimes the things we perceive as mysteries can be unraveled if we're willing to look beyond the surface and search for the truth. Even now, whenever I hear a strange noise or witness something unusual, I remember my brother's approach to the mysterious house. I remind myself that the world is full of strange and wonderful things, and that there is often a rational explanation for even the most baffling of mysteries. And in the end, it's the pursuit of knowledge and understanding that helps us grow, both as individuals and as a community. On one of my visits to the neighborhood, I found myself wandering past the house late at night. The moon cast eerie shadows on the once mysterious home, and a chilling breeze rustled the leaves in the trees. As I stood there, taking in the scene, a strange feeling of unease washed over me. As I looked up at the house, I couldn't shake the feeling that I was being watched. I glanced around, but there was no one in sight. The street was deserted, the neighbors' homes dark and silent. My heart raced, and my palms grew clammy as the feeling of being watched intensified. It was then that I noticed a faint glow coming from one of the upstairs windows. Curiosity getting the better of me, I decided to investigate. I approached the house and peered through the window, my breath fogging up the cold glass. To my horror, I saw the ghostly figure of the middle-aged woman who had once lived there. Her eyes filled with rage and her mouth twisted into a sinister grin. The shock of the sight sent me stumbling backward, falling onto the cold, damp grass. I blinked in disbelief, trying to process what I had just seen. Had I just witnessed the vengeful spirit of the woman, still haunting the house after all these years? I scrambled to my feet and raced away from the house, my heart pounding in my chest. I knew I could never look at the house the same way again. The once explained phenomena now seemed darker and more sinister, leaving me questioning the truth behind what had really happened there. The events of that night remain a chilling memory, and I can't help but wonder if the house's tragic past had never truly been laid to rest. Perhaps the malevolent spirit of the woman still lingers, waiting for the right moment to exact her revenge on those who dared to disturb her eternal rest. And so, dear viewers, we've reached the end of this spine-tingling tale. The once mysterious house and its sinister secrets continue to haunt our thoughts. But we must ask ourselves, are the events we've witnessed truly the work of supernatural forces, or could there be an even darker, hidden truth that we've yet to uncover? We invite you to share your thoughts and theories in the comments below. Do you believe in vengeful spirits, or do you have another explanation for the chilling events that unfolded? If you enjoyed this eerie story and want to hear more like it, don't forget to like and subscribe to our channel. Your support helps us continue to bring you the most thrilling and spine-chilling tales. For our most dedicated fans, we have an exclusive offer. Join our Telegram group, where you can discuss stories, share your own spine-tingling tales, and read the chilling accounts of others. This close-knit community is the perfect place to explore the unknown and delve into the darkest corners of our world. The link to join is in the description below. We can't wait to hear your thoughts and stories, and we look forward to uncovering more chilling mysteries together. Until next time, remember, the world is full of strange and unsettling events, and the answers may be closer than you think.